Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, myself and my good buddy Ben Eller
Hi.
are at the Sweetwater Distribution Center, and we're going to take a look around. We're going to play with some boxes, poke some things. We're also going to check out the candy, which is the most important part.
I want to see the candy.
Yeah, let's go. So right here are mostly guitars. This is all guitars, and this is...
They look more like boxes to me, Ryan.
Well, you know what? And you wouldn't be wrong, Mr. Ben. You would, but inside these boxes are guitars. Lots and lots of guitars.
What'll they think of next?
And we are gonna climb up there. No? Oh, okay. We're not gonna climb up there.
We
not
just
gonna
gotta
climb
signal
up there.
we're not doing
Just
that.
kidding.
Okay.
And yeah, we're not gonna get a guitar this time. So there are, let's see, this seems to be organized by, okay, so these are open box, it looks like. And then Gibson, and then Gibson, and then amps down here. This is just the first aisle, mind you.
There's a lot of nice things.
Yeah. PAs, MIDI drums, mixers.
Boxes.
Boxes. You know what? I bet the recycling bill on this place is nuts.
It's high.
Yeah, I bet it's very, very
It's the big
high.
bucks.
This is the best Costco I've ever been in. So the scale of this facility is pretty hard to describe.
I would call it, in a word, huge-normous.
I would call it huge enormous. Yeah. So, I don't know, there's literally like everything is here.
There's so many to choose from.
And then we have, well, this is a funny dichotomy of, we have just the most insane amounts of like guitars and stuff, and then we have teeny tiny little, we have a carbon copy deluxe. We have tiny, earplugs. We have, yeah.
I'm kind of just searching around for a really nice open box special on a DoD grunge, but I'm not seeing it.
So this area right here, this is where they manufacture the cardboard. It's actually made from leftover candy wrappers and Laffy Taffies.
Very high caloric density
Fun
cardboard.
fact, if you actually lick a Sweetwater package, you might get a taste of that sweet banana. Curved yellow.
Oh, a little curved yellow action. I want to
yellow.
lick that package.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're actually working on a technology to manufacture a gluten-free box.
Would that also, so, and then after that, it's going to be a vegan box.
Yeah, very important.
Which, most vegan things taste like cardboard. It's synergistic.
Match made in heaven.
Synergistic. More guitars. So, I'm guessing, is the guitar gallery tape meaning of anything? Does this mean it's been photographed?
That's a professional guitar. Now, are these lead or rhythm guitars?
Well, I mean, both.
It's hard to tell the difference sometimes. This one's a rock guitar, I can tell from the packaging.
And then we have a Schecter. We have a demo guitar. Schecter.
That's short for demolition.
That's right. I don't even know how to.
The scale is ginormous. This basically looks like, I think this is what Neil Sean's garage looks like.
A comparison guitar?
Comparison? What are you going to compare it to? You can't even compare him to another guitar.
Also, if you guys want to play a drinking game at home, every time they beep the forklift, take a drink.
See you at the crossroads, homie.
Skate or die.
Now, where in this entire array do they store the Ark of the Covenant that they used to like melt the Nazis' faces in Indiana Jones?
Well, it's the same place to store the candy.
I want to
They're
see
related.
the candy.
Plot twist.
And similarly enough, there's a lot of face melters around here.
There is. So now we're going to be in an area. This is for sorting smaller stuff. This is for non-guitar sized stuff. You'll see sorters, and you're going to see orders being put in. We're going to see all that magic upstairs. Let's go.
Look at all the bits and bobs.
This is pretty cool. You have things like
pick 'em ups.
You have phase 2 soap bar pickups from Seymour Duncan.
Mm.
Right. And the policy,
Soap bars for a clean tone.
and the policy here at Sweetwater is one for you, one for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in my pocket.
Put that in the pocket there.
Yep.
Save that for
No,
later.
I'm just kidding. Putting it back, Chuck. Don't worry.
Maybe you need a butt plate. You want to try it on?
I might need a butt plate.
Does it fit?
No.
It's not for me.
It's not for me. So here we have boxes of Eddie Van Halen's shoes. He was a small man.
Small-footed man. It is
very
not really
small-footed
well
man.
known about him, but it was his
Yeah.
secret shame. A very small foot.
Yeah, this is Chuck's personal stash. It actually is here at the warehouse. You can buy it. Link down below in the description.
You put the shoes on, and then you know what you do? You might as well jump.
This is the conveyor belt where everyone's order travels.
This is where the
And
magic happens.
These we're literally looking at people's orders right now. Flashback delay,
Okay, good things, good things. Some
A Boss
Seymour
foot
Duncan
controller.
pick-em-ups, I like that.
a tuner,
This is like the lightning round roast my rig, isn't it?
some tubes, and a Walrus audio pedal.
They like things that are nice.
Hey, a clip-on tuner and some jazz strings.
This isn't so much of a roast my rig as much as it is
Roast.
based my box.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of stuff in that one.
EQD in there, some Earthquaker stuff. SM7B, that might be mine. I need one of those.
Oh no, there's no orders, Ben.
Shucks, Christmas is canceled.
Turn the lights off. Oh, just kidding, we have another order.
We've got some. We got a demolition.
It's a Bugera, take that out of there, they don't need that.
Somebody's on the naughty list for sure if that's what they got. Boy, I've seen a lot of like drum heads and drum gear. There's gonna be a lot of very, very irritated parents come Christmas this year.
Anyways.
Uh-oh, call the exterminator. We got an infestation
Oh!
of spiders.
Just kidding, Line 6, I love you, thank
Got
you for
'em.
supporting me all these years.
Brian, what's your favorite piece of Sweetwater candy? What's the piece that you lust after whenever you
All
open
of
that
it.
sweet, sweet, Sweetwater goodness? Are you a Bit-O honey boy?
I'm a Laffy Taffy boy.
Oh, you're one of them Laffy Taffies men, are you?
And then second to that, bit of honey.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Old.
Okay, boomer. Keep your Bit-O honey to yourself. Shit-O honey.
Bit of honey is a delicacy in some countries, Ben.
Not where I'm from. I'm from the country.
So there's no Laffy Taffy in these.
No.
I haven't
not
seen
seeing
any Laffy
Taffy.
Taffy, to be honest
I'm
with
seeing
you.
the most important element of all, which is the atomic fireball. That's the prized possession that I go after whenever I open that good old package of Sweetwater candy. I want the spice. I want the cinnamon. I want to feel the heat.
Okay. I'll give you heat.
Later.
You know what I'm saying?
Later. Wait, what do you mean? There's a legend out there that if you contact your amazing Sweetwater representative and tell them your candy preference, they will add in customized candy to suit your needs. So I'm gonna hit up my man Kevin and tell him,
Seriously?
fireball me. I want all the fireballs.
You've always been a balls man, haven't you?
It is known. This is the way.
So right now we're going to talk to Chris Roy of the guitar. He's the manager. You take care of all things Guitar Gallery.
All things in the production side, so the
Okay.
core process, what we're known for.
Are you
So-
taking the photos as well?
Yeah, well, we have a team of
You.
photographers. Me, no.
Oh, okay.
We have a team of photographers dressed better than I do for the part.
Okay. So the Guitar Gallery is where every guitar comes through and gets a 55-point inspection. You guys set it up. Are there scenarios where you guys will just make a call? Like, is everyone who's doing the setup, can they go, I think this needs new strings, for example?
Absolutely.
So, and they'll just put a fresh set of strings on.
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
that is part of the process. I'll walk you through each step and kind of show you where that decision is made and then how we
Love
go
that.
about making that happen.
Okay. Well, cool. Let's go off, right?
All right, cool. So we start here. This is the unboxing section. So technically, if you look down this line, this is a production
Yes.
line. 1, 2, and 3 separate lines all the way down, which go from unboxing to the inspection process, to the photo process,
Okay.
to the tune and polish, final,
Okay.
final set of eyes, ears, and hands, and then to rebox to be boxed up and sent back out to the customer.
Okay.
So there's a little more detail in there, and we'll go through that now. So We got some brand new guitar handlers here. So everybody starts at the guitar handler role. Unbox, Rebox are under that umbrella, as well as photo turning, the guys that work with the photographers. So your first stop when you start with the guitar gallery is Unbox. So every day is Christmas. You are opening guitars all day long, brand new, fresh out of the box. You're the first eyes to see them. Sometimes you're seeing guitars that aren't even released yet because we have to have them through the process before the release date, so that when that marketing campaign goes live for whatever that new model is, we're ready to ship them that day.
This would obviously be a critical step because if you're unboxing multiple guitars, it's important to keep the correct box with the correct guitar.
Absolutely, it's a
so
huge
I'm noticing,
part.
yeah, like it looks like he has a system 1-to-1, it looks like, of like, that one's the first one on that rack, and the guitar is the first one on that
first
rack.
box, first guitar.
Okay.
We triple check the serial number that's on the box versus the guitar. You'd be surprised how often they don't match. So if you bought that guitar from anybody, that right there is a problem, because you're when you go to have a warranty issue somewhere in the future, if that ever happens, you've got a box that you were sold, but the guitar inside is a different serial number. So we're making sure that right out of the gate that those things are matching, and then we're printing the inspection card with that serial number as well. So we're making sure that that card, that guitar, and that box stay together as a matching set the entire trip.
Okay, cool.
And that's a huge part of what this is.
Sure.
As well as making sure the accessories are there. You know, we've got trem bars and tools and stuff that come with guitars, so these guys are also making sure, yes, the tools that are supposed to be with that instrument, or even the COA, is there. If it's not, it stops right here at the front end. We take it from there and we make sure there's a COA or there's accessories and all that stuff. So again, that's something that sometimes gets missed in the manufacturing process. If it didn't, we wouldn't exist. So it's kind of job security for us, the more stuff we do find that are issues, and we hopefully resolve them before they ever reach a customer, and that's kind of our goal.
Okay.
So at that first step, that's already important stuff to begin with.
Yeah.
Once they have the cart filled, we wheel them into the line. The guitars are then awaiting to be inspected. They're inspected in order from the front to the back. We have two sets of techs here. So we have an inspection tech who does a majority of the 55-point inspection. So they're looking for cosmetic issues first. Then they're checking electronics, not only for functionality, but for the actual function of what those are supposed to do. So if that kill switch is supposed to only kill the bottom pickup and not the top, we have to kind of know that and go through it and make sure it's actually doing the individual functions. So
is there a line of, okay, maybe it's outside of the 55 point, like maybe if it's up to the individual inspector's opinion of, I think the action feels a little high, is that taken care of at this point, or is that still just documenting and, I don't know, recording the inspection points?
So at this point, they're actually making the adjustment. So the inspector is actually doing the adjustment. So technically, the titles are a little weird because we're inspecting the inspection down there. So these guys are going through the card going, I'm making the adjustments. We have a brand new thing that we've just added, and I'm going to show it to you. You'll be one of the first set of eyes to kind of see it. It's a screen that has all of the data of every guitar that we carry, what the manufacturer specs are supposed to be for all the measurements. And so we're making those measurements and making sure they meet manufacturer spec, and they also meet Sweetwater spec, because sometimes they're not exactly the same.
That's exactly where I was going with that question.
Yeah, we have a slightly different playability that we feel a guitar should have, a better playability, not as wide of a gap. And so we've told that to the manufacturer, and we've come up with an agreement of like, this is fair, and then we go, that's what we're going to adjust them to. So it's usually right in the pocket of what they want as well, but some manufacturers have a wider range. And so we try to narrow that range. So
very cool.
We don't call it a setup, because that would imply maybe you and I spoke and you said, I tuned a Q.
A personalized setup.
Right. So it's not personalized, and it's not even personalized to our tech, because that would be unfair to you as a customer as well, because we want you to be able to go, if I buy two Strats, they are going to play almost the same. Because the old argument, as you know, is I don't want to play a guitar, I don't want to buy a guitar unless I play it.
Yes.
And so we, at the Guitar Gallery, our job is to level that playing field so that it isn't as much of an issue for you to go, yeah, this one played completely different. Whereas I know that world, I lived it too. It's going into the store, those two Strats are the exact same year, they're the same guitar, why do they play so different? our entire existence is to make sure they don't play different.
And you were going by the numbers as agreed,
right,
with the manufacturer,
right?
So there's no argument.
That's it.
Got it.
We got all the tools. Yeah. So, you know, we have a system we follow that goes through each step as well as the card, and then we either determine, yes, this is instantly good to go through. We've done all the adjustments. It's where it's set. It's A stock. It's ready to go through. Sometimes we find some things that we go, that's a blemish, and it's not something that we can fix at the inspection level. So what they'll do, or maybe it's a wiring issue, it's not wired the way it's supposed to be, we'll bench it, so we'll put it on the side over there, and we'll have one of these other techs, which is called a Tech 3, they're a support tech, they do higher level repair.
Troubleshooting.
They do, exactly.
All that stuff.
So that what that does is allows us to keep the line moving, keeps the good stuff moving through, keeps everybody busy on that end, has the product moving, but it also gives our Tech 3s the time to really look at what happened
and
with
not cripple the other guy for his timetable.
Exactly,
Love
that's
that.
exactly it,
Okay.
yeah. So once we've determined they're good to go, or we've determined that blemish can't be fixed, so we're gonna call this a demo. And that's where we make those calls, where it won't be a playability issue, it will be a cosmetic issue almost every time. We find a chip or a ding or a crack along the neck joint, something that typically doesn't get picked up, you know, or seen until you've owned it for a couple months and you're like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't look at this hard enough. We try to find that here. If it's resolvable, if it's something that could be buffed out, then we will buff it out and it won't be an issue. If we can't, we call it a demo. We put stickers on it pointing at where the issues are, and then Photo takes even more photos of those guitars so that when you buy it, you know exactly why you got that discount and what you're walking into.
Do you decide how much comes off that price depending on what it is?
Typically, we've got some standards in place based on different manufacturers and what that would be. So if it's this kind of issue, it's this much. If it's this kind of issue, it's that much, you know? So the discount's kind of automatically done. But we do have some autonomy in there as well. If the Tech 3, they've reached a level where we let them make that call. And that's usually how it's determined.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, all right.
So once we have it through here, there's our buffing room over here, so we spend some time in there. Depending on the brand, we may spend more time. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? So we got some right now we have some really cool guitars coming in. All day it's been a hodgepodge of Rickenbackers and Gibsons and Fenders and everything today. Typically what happens is a truck arrives after 24 hours of acclimation, we let them sit. Before we open them, and we ask our customers to do the same.
Yes,
so
you do.
We live by the same laws, you know.
Even during summer?
Not during summer. So
only winter, mainly.
Fall, spring.
Okay.
Once the weather starts to change and we know that guitar isn't going to be 70 degrees, and we actually do measure that with a laser temperature gauge.
Cool.
And if they're 69 to 70 degrees, they're cool to come through. But typically that will take at least 24 hours. So even though we're excited to get that guitar through, even though we're like, it's already sold, it's safer for everyone that we wait. It means less issues for that potential guitar as well, especially when you're talking about the different types of finishes that we deal with. Once we've decided these are good to go, this is the line awaiting Photo. So the Photo turners get to handle the models. They get to bring the guitars in. A little bit of everything. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
I'm looking at Ben here like, yo, we'll get to this in a second. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
It's Christmas, right?
That's super cool.
Yeah. It is cool. There are days that literally we will have an EVH day where we put through 900 EVHs all at once. And those are pretty fun days. Like, everybody has fun,
man. Wow, okay. So all of these are in the process or have been shot?
So, no, they haven't been shot yet. We've determined whether they're a demo or they're A stock and that they're coming through knowing that. And then these guys are communicating that to the photographer. So we have a photography team. They work with all three of our shifts. We have a morning shift, an evening shift, and we have a weekend shift.
Sure.
So all three lines on particular days are running all at the same time. 3 studios, 3 lines of production.
I mean, the photos take up a huge amount of time in some cases, right? I mean,
absolutely.
As the process goes, I mean, taking photos, setting it up, all that kind of stuff.
Cropping, lighting. So we've got we have an amazing team of photographers, and they are super diligent and fast. It's amazing. So a key part of why you do unbox, then you do rebox, and then you do photo turn is each step of the way you're learning new skills, and each one affects the next one. So it's very Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Like if you didn't know to put the three-way toggle switch on your Gibson that came without it because they don't want it to shatter in shipping, then you wouldn't know to take it off so it doesn't shatter in shipping when you ship it out. So had you not done that job, you would be very bad at that job. So similarly, when you come to photo, now we're gonna let you communicate with a human being, because up until then, you have been communicating to guitars all day, every day, at unbox and then rebox. So by the time you've reached the level that you're a photo turner, now you're communicating with the photographer and you're going, hey, this is a demo, and then they automatically go, cool, I'm gonna be taking a lot of pictures, or this is a bass, I need to swap out the stand. So there's a lot of communication back and forth, especially when they're trying to be efficient. Everybody should be able to recognize these brick white walls and the shiny floating floor that a lot of people probably think we're on the floor setting up guitars, but
that's amazing.
We've made it way easier by making the floor waist level so we could just go in and swap out the guitars, and all the lighting is set. Obviously, they have taken thousands and thousands of photos as they become seasoned photographers.
What cameras are you using to take the photos?
They're Canons.
They are Canons.
Yeah, we're Canons. We have a lot of people come in, and then we have, all the photographers have their arguments of like, Sony, Canon.
Mirrorless DSLR.
So, but yeah, we use Canon, I believe, exclusively here. So when there is a break, when he has to swap out a stand, or we have somebody over here and they're like, hey, I need to swap out for a ukulele, that gives them time to turn around and start cropping photos. So literally they're cropping, they're taking photos, they're multitasking at a high level. And we'll see 30 guitars an hour come through one studio with some of our faster photographers. And they're taking 8 to 12 photos. I mean, 6 to 12 minimum.
I'm watching these guys. They're hauling.
And they know the angles well, and they know the lighting well enough to be able to just go, put it there, and they know it's a 1/4 of an inch, and boom, that's the angle I need, and take the shot. And
that's amazing. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And it's a fun job. So we have a lot of people that want to work in photo. And
I'm
sure. Like, I want to take these, and we're like, oh, what do you, and they play guitar, so they have a passion for the instrument, and it's like, this will be a great fit. Some come in with just photography experience, and they end up leaving with a passion for guitars, because once they see all the grain and all the work that puts into the art of the guitar, they actually start falling in love with the whole idea of guitar as well. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely a melding of people that have a passion for guitars. So this is the Tune and Polish group. We call it that, but it's way more than that. So they actually weigh the instrument, that logs the data into the computer, and here is where the serial number, the photos, and the weight all lock, so that on our website you can choose by the weight, by the serial number, or by the photos, right? So we're one of the only places you have all of those options, and you're actually buying the actual guitar you see on the screen. So if we have 4 on there and you're like, that's the top I want, that's the actual guitar you're gonna buy. And that's not the experience a lot of our competitors offer. It's one of the things that kind of make us special.
I love the fact that when I buy a guitar from Sweetwater, I get a separate email of the photos.
Yes.
Because before the guitar gets here, you always want to share with your buddy, oh, check out what I got, guys. But like, you obviously don't have, I do have a photo of the actual guitar, not just the generic model off the.
And those are higher res photos.
Yes, they are.
So when you get them, it's a serious
I have all mine.
photo. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It's kind of
I
like,
love that.
It's gone through the, when a baby's born and they take all the professional photos, it's like your guitar has been through that. It starts his life as a model. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about it, but if you ever sold that guitar down the road, it's kind of cool to go, here's the original photos, here's the history of this guitar, here's the people that worked on it. We talk about, it doesn't come up a lot, but with a vintage instrument, when I'm holding 2 expensive, identical instruments, one could be worth 13 grand, another one's worth 9. And it's like, well, why is that 13? It's like, because there's a story. We have the original hang tags. We have the handwritten notes where they
spent its life at this music store.
Here's the original receipt, all that stuff, right? And it's like, at some point, maybe 20 years, 30 years down the road, people are going to be like, does it have a Sweetwater card with it? Like, that might be the history. Who knows? So, so we kind of we let everybody know it's really important when you're signing off on that card that you're going. I'm signing off that this was right. So. everybody takes a lot of accountability in what goes through, and that their name is a part of the quality of that instrument. So these are all passionate guitar players. So once we've put all that data in the computer, now it's ready to be shipped. So we box it here. We try to use all the original packing material so we can get it as close to the way as it arrived to us as possible. So the customer's having a very similar experience, except that that card will be right in the strings.
Yep.
And then once it leaves here, it goes to that team over there, and they double box the guitar. So now they're putting expanding foam at the bottom, putting it on top, more expanding foam, and then candy, catalog, stickers, thank you, invoice.
Are there, has anyone ever complained about not getting candy?
Well, everybody gets candy.
What if they didn't?
That's a big if.
That's a big deal.
It would be a big deal.
That is a security lapse.
If anybody, any customer doesn't get candy, they need to call our tech support and let them know.
For the record, it's never happened to me. There has been a few times where I'm like, oh, there it is. It's underneath it's on the very bottom of the
Right,
you know,
yeah, we've had that happen a few times where it's like, I don't have it. We go, did you pull the stuff out of the bottom of the box?
Out.
Yeah, all of it. Because sometimes that expanding foam expand around the candy, and that just means your candy's safer at the end of the day. So
it's the most
safe candy's important.
I always joke. It's I bought myself a pack of candy. It also came with a guitar.
right.
That's really why we shop here, right? It's because of the
candy.
Well,
bit of honey. Where else are you gonna get bit of honey, right?
Dude, thank you. We were just talking about this with Ben earlier. Ben doesn't like bit of honey.
But you can't get it anywhere else. So I'm just saying, you don't always have to. You don't own every guitar just because it's awesome. Sometimes you own it because no one else can have it.
Agreed.
Right?
You know what?
Same with bit of honey.
Yeah. Anyone like you. Okay, is that?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do at the gallery. And then from here, if you wanted specialty setups, you wanted different pickups, you wanted to customize that guitar to you, it goes to our shop, and those guys do all of that magic. So we're one of the only places in the world you could go, I want that guitar, but I want to have this kind of pickup put in it. I want it set up.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, tuned to drop D with this kind of strings on it, and I want it set in a different case. I want an anvil style case.
Wait, can I buy a guitar and have a set of Fishman Fluence active pickups installed in it?
Absolutely.
Would I handle that through my sales engineer?
Yeah, you just tell your sales engineer, you know what I want in this guitar? I wish it had this, and I want jumbo frets installed, and I want it plecked.
What?
And then I want it shipped in this special case. And you can have a customized, your own signature model, basically created by you through your sales engineer, and it'll ship to you that way in that case.
I'm literally learning this for the first time right now. Okay, wow.
So there you go.
Thanks for mentioning that, Dan. Anyway, dude, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
I really
Thanks for
appreciate
coming
the
out.
tour. Super, super cool, man.
Next time you're in the area, we'll put you in a booth, and we'll embarrass you.
You're not gonna embarrass me.
All right,
no way.
I can't be embarrassed either.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be a good time. All right, well, cool. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.